Hello Jeep fam. So today we are taking a look at the Grand Cherokee 4xe, our 1 month experience with it. So we're gonna get on the road here and get started. But yeah, our experience with this over 2 months has been, for the most part, positive here. I have to take a look at how many miles we've actually got on the Jeep since we purchased it, but I want to say over 2 months here we're at about 1,500 miles, somewhere around there, maybe 1,000 miles. It isn't a lot, quite frankly. We don't drive this vehicle a ton except to and from work, and then on Fridays I usually take it to give it a wash at my shop, where I do most of my work on my vehicles, and then we go from there. But right now it's a balmy 3 degrees out, and when I try to put this into electric mode, it says electric mode temporarily unavailable. So the only time I can seem to get electric mode working is when the temperature is right around freezing, so 32 degrees, or it sits in my shop overnight and warms the vehicle up. So if we take a look here at how many miles we've done since we have bought the vehicle, I am just taking a look here. We have done 1,085 miles. So my bad, over 2 months we put on a hair over 1,000 miles, so not bad. During that time we've averaged 18.8 miles per gallon, so that does seem a little bit low, but honestly a lot of the driving, well, now it's going down to -2, but a lot of the driving that has been done has been city only driving, so it makes sense here. Get a little acceleration boost here. Oh my gosh. So it makes sense that while driving in the city and not having electric mode active, that the vehicle only runs on gasoline. And of course the battery helps out too, but a lot of it is on gasoline because it is just so cold. So right now it is down to -3, and I think that temperature is going to drop, and that's essentially what we've been dealing with here since we bought the car. It's been very cold temperatures, and essentially the vehicle is run on gas mode. So I guess since I'm talking about that, that's kind of the first negative topic that I want to talk about here. And there's really not a lot of negatives to this vehicle except the fact that it goes into form mode a lot, which is fuel and oil refresh mode. And when I press it to go to electric, it says electric mode temporarily unavailable quite frequently as well. So that sucks. I do have to say, I'm not super impressed with that function of it. It's not like my Chevy Volt either, where the gas engine acts as a generator to the electric battery. The 2-liter gas engine sits just about right where the hood stops, and then the electric motor is pancaked in between the transmission and the gas engine. So both work in unison, rather than both working opposite of each other, one acting as a generator and the other acting as a motor. So they both work in unison. So of course it's not going to give you the same sort of connection that you would with a Chevy Volt, like a range extender vehicle. It's going to give you a typical hybrid experience, although this hybrid experience isn't quite as refined as what you would get in other vehicles in its class, for the fact that I can't get this to run on electric mode when I want to. So of course here it's saying that electric mode temporarily unavailable, fuel and oil refresh in progress. which sucks because in the city, this is where it thrives, and essentially that's where I'd want to run it on electric mode in the city, just so you're not getting that terrible MPG rate that we get. Just basically running this on hybrid mode while this vehicle has been in form mode a lot makes the vehicle get about 20 miles to the gallon, which is still pretty good for a full-size vehicle. You know, full-size truck like this, essentially it weighs what, 5,800 pounds, something like that. It's huge, but you would expect it to do better. So that's my biggest gripe with this vehicle, is that I can't get it to go to electric mode when I want it to. That sucks. I want it to run in electric mode more than what I'm running right now, because that's the whole purpose of this vehicle, is to have that hybrid power and have that 25 miles of range so it can run on pure electric mode. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's like that. I guess it's a Stellantis thing, but that's kind of my biggest gripe with the vehicle. Another gripe of the vehicle here is that this system, the Uconnect 5 system, can be a little laggy sometimes. Like right now, I just pressed on home and I'm waiting for the map on the left widget there. It finally loaded, and sometimes when you, like I clicked on vehicle, there's just a little bit of a delay that I've never had on this Uconnect 5 system before. In our Durango RT Tongo, there's really not much of a delay, and on my Ram truck that I had, my 2019 with the Uconnect 5, there wasn't much of a delay on there either. So I find that interesting that there is a delay here with this system, especially when you're paying, I think this topped the scales in 2023. We bought this as basically like a dealer demo, and topped the scales at $68,000 before tax, title, and license. So that does kind of suck right there. But I would like to see more electric usage with this vehicle, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the case as we get into the warmer spring season here, even into the summer. But enough about the negatives here. Let's talk about some of the positives. So number one being the horsepower and torque. This thing is a monster on the road. 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. That is incredible. That's almost as much, well, that is as much as my stock Jeep SRT before, you know, you add any mods or anything like that on it. That is just incredible. I find that amazing that they put that in this Jeep. So 0 to 60 times from what I'm seeing is right around 5 to 5.5 seconds, which is blistering for a vehicle that weighs this much. I mean, you're looking at, like I said, 5,600 pounds. That's a ton. That is literally almost 3 tons actually of weight before you get this thing loaded up. So it's definitely fast, definitely capable. The 4-cylinder engine, it doesn't sound terrible. It's quiet at low RPMs, and then when you get it up in the rev range, it's like a typical turbo 4, but for noise sake. But there isn't a lot of turbo lag. Well, there is no turbo lag actually, because of the electric powertrain in here. It essentially takes the turbo lag out and it just fills it with torque. It's amazing. I mean, this thing jumps at any chance you could get to accelerate. So that's another great thing about it. But the ride is compliant. I've specifically wanted a vehicle without the 4-corner air suspension, and this vehicle came without that, which I am thankful for. So like I was saying here with the suspension, it's nice. It's a supple ride. I like it a lot. Now, what I did have to do though was change the tires out. So this did come stock with Bridgestone Dueler HL 400s, which was like a highway terrain tire, so not a great tire by any means. And where we live in Wisconsin, we get snow, we get rain, icy conditions, everything like that. So I wanted to make sure that my fiance here, that she had a safe ride everywhere she went, now that I have a Jeep SRT and not a Ram truck. So I wanted to make sure that she was safe. And I ended up buying some really good tires here, Bridgestone's Dueler Revo AT3s. So very high luggy, good tires, all-terrain, mud and snow rated, really great tires. And honestly, they aren't much louder on the road than the Bridgestone Dueler HLs that this truck came with. So I was pretty happy with the decision to go with a better tire. And so far, with the snow and the ice that we've got, it really has improved the handling of the vehicle. And again, yes, this is fast, but because it does have the just regular coilover suspension setup, it doesn't handle great, and that's not what this vehicle is for. This is an off-road truck, basically. So there is a little bit more body roll with these tires. When you're going around corners on dry pavement, it doesn't seem to grip quite as well, but for the most part, it does do a good job at holding the road, which is what you want. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a comfort vehicle first and sport vehicle second. So we're very happy with the tires on here, very happy with the suspension. I had so many issues with my air suspension on the Ram truck that I just didn't want to have to deal with that again. Even though this is basically a brand new vehicle with a full warranty, I didn't want to have to deal with that again with the Jeep. So I wanted to get a model that didn't have the air suspension, which basically on the Jeep 4xe, you're limited to the what they call base 4xe trim, or the anniversary trim. So we basically only had one decision, because there was no anniversary trims for sale around us, even within a 3 to 4 or 5 hour radius away. So we found this vehicle, and we're very, very, very happy with it. I'm very happy with the suspension. I like it. I think it does a great job for a stock setup. This is really, really comfortable and really nice. The seating on this is great, and just the whole interior space is just so nice. And that's another topic I want to hit. So driving dynamics, great, of course, but the interior touches and the feels on here, and granted, this is not a Summit, this is not an Overland, so you're not getting as nice of an interior feel, but still, for a vehicle in this price range and its trim, it's great. It really has all the features that you want and that you need. I mean, you're looking at heated, cooled seats, no massaging seats, but heated, cooled seats, 360-degree camera, rear and front park assist, lane departure warning, lane sense, adaptive cruise control, and many more fun gimmicks, and passenger screen on here, many more fun gimmicks that are pretty cool. But for the most part, we love the interior. It's such a step up from the old WK2 interior that I have on my Jeep SRT. I mean, it's clearly night and day difference here. There's so much room. They lengthened the vehicle a little bit, but they gave us a ton more leg room in the second row, a ton more storage room in the back. It really is just an awesome place to spend time. And I've been in Summit Reserves, and those are even better than this, which is amazing. But honestly, you compare this to a base model, well, not necessarily a base model. This interior is very similar to a not loaded Overland trim, And this interior just blows away even the nicest of interiors from the WK2 era of Jeep. I mean, this is their new design, and as much as I rip on Stellantis, I have to say this: they have done interiors since 2011 better than anybody else on the market. Anybody else on the market, maybe besides Mercedes. These interiors are fantastic. They're ergonomically correct. The technology in them is sufficient. The touch points are good. And the more and more you work up the trim levels, the better it gets. So I am just thoroughly impressed here with the ease of use of this vehicle and how well it's done for us, for space, for hauling stuff, everything like that. It's great. I look around and I see space, and that's exactly what you want in a large vehicle like this. So again, we're just thoroughly impressed. To summarize the video here, some cons. I want to start with that. The electric system just does not seem to want to turn on when it's cold. It's 2 below right now. I can't get this electric system to turn on. Maybe when it sits in my shop and warms up overnight, it'll turn on. But even then, you'll be lucky to get it to turn on then. Cons again, it goes into fuel and oil refresh mode a lot. That's not great. Can't have that. This seems like a half-baked hybrid system. It could be way better, for sure. But the pros, you're looking at probably the best mid-size, like pseudo-luxury or luxury SUV, or full-size, if you want to call it that, on the market. The powertrain is great in terms of horsepower and torque. Hands down, one of the best on the market, and the materials are great. The ride is great. Comfort is great. Sound system, this 9-piece sound system from Alpine has been tried and used in many Stellantis vehicles going back to the 2010s. I think it's their best product to use for speaker systems. I've listened to them all. I still like the Alpine because of the high subwoofer. I mean, you're getting an awesome product. Definitely even better than our Mercedes GLE 43 that we had in terms of interior. It's so ergonomically correct and usable that it beats every other car on the market. Hands down, it really does. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. I love driving this truck. I love being behind the wheel. Stellantis has done a fantastic job yet again with the interior and exterior design of this vehicle. I mean, it is great. So with that being said, guys, 2-month review of this 4xe. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.